Hey there, in this video I'll be fixing these two bikes. My uncle asked me if I can fix this bike for him. It's broken, doesn't work. And in exchange, he gave me this bike and said I can keep it, sell it, do whatever I want to do with it. People have these bikes hiding in garages, sheds, all around the world. And I was wondering, is it worth offering your skills and service in exchange or part exchange for the bikes that are hiding in sheds? People get a bike fixed for free and they give you a bike they don't want anyway. But is there money to be made? How much can you make out of it? You have to fix two bikes, then you can only sell one. So think of this as a live experiment. Let's fix these bikes, get them out there, and explore the idea. Okay, let's focus on this bike first. This is my uncle's main ride, so we'll get this one out of the way and keep him going. Let me show you in more detail on what's going on, and then yeah, we'll jump on this one. All right. If we start at the back here, you can see just the general condition of the drivetrain. Pretty grimy, but I've seen a lot worse, so this is not that bad. One thing that will need attention immediately are the tires. Quite perished. Frame overall is in a really good nick. No real chips or scratches. Aluminium. Oh, what's going on over here? Is that a cable frame? Yep. Cables are quite rusty, so you know what? I might just replace them. This is the main problem. Front brake is not working. This looks like an easy fix, to be honest. Someone's been tinkering with it. So I think it just needs adjusting. I might replace this cable guide. It just looks a bit grimy. Overall, not too bad. Bolts are not rusty. I won't touch all the ergos. As you can see, it has this adjustable stem. But hey, it works for him. I won't mess with that. Oh man, why do people tighten them so much? This straight away to me is a bit of a red flag. Oh, what's going on with this back wheel? Front was also tight, but not as bad as the rear. Well, we need replacing tires anyway, so I will use this opportunity to inspect the wheel and make sure there's no damage, make sure that the bearings are okay and hubs, because I'm kind of worried why these wheels are so tight. Here I checked the skewer and yeah, the cams are all squished, so I decided I'll replace them. I have a spare one. Next, I spun the bearings by hand and they do not feel nice. They're very notchy and I will need to open up a hub and inspect and see what's going on here. At this stage, this assembly is going reasonably well. Nothing's baked in or rusted, so that's actually nice for a change. Okay, hub is stripped and cleaned, and this is the situation. Cup is in a good condition on one side. You can see there's minimal wear on there. It's same deal on the other side. It actually looks in a really good condition, so I'm happy. Cups are fine. Ball bearings are okay. They're not greatest, but they're actually in a really good nick as well. There is some sort of fading on them, but they're not pitted. One of the cones, yep, that's acceptable. There is a slight line, but no pitting or no issues in there. The other cone, on the other hand, yeah, there's our culprit. This one is heavily pitted, and that's where the grinding and noise comes from. So we're going to have to replace this one. Luckily, I have a whole bunch of spare parts, and there is one just like it that will work. Same size, same everything. We just need to take the worn one and replace it with the spare one. Cassette cleaned up quite well, so now it's time to put it all together. Bike needed a good clean, and I noticed the rear calipers were a bit sticky. They just didn't move nicely, so I decided to take them off. Easier access when I was cleaning anyway, and just give them a bit of a extra grease on the posts just to see if they will move better. And yeah, that worked really well, so easy fix. Rest of the cleanup was straightforward. Paint was a bit dull, so I decided to use this like a paint polish, T-cut, whatever you want to call it, just to buff out some of the scratches and scuffs on it, and it worked really well. Next up, we're about to replace the cables, and these shifters, or very similar models to these ones, they have a couple of common, I guess, issues or faults, things I see commonly on them. One of them is that they gum up easily, or they gum up with time, so they stop shifting, and they need to be sort of either opened up or just spray them a lot with the WD-40 to get them going again. Because we're replacing these cables, I will open up the shifters and then give them a clean from the inside. The other issue that happens with them are these screws. They can get stripped easily, as you can see here, I am panicking right now because I have started to strip this screw and I'm thinking this is going to turn from a 20-second job to a couple of hours of me messing around trying to pull the bloody thing out. So right now I'm going go back slowly. Let's make sure that, we don't strip it any further. I'm putting some of the WD-40. I'm cleaning the threads a little bit in here, or cleaning the top of the screw a little bit so that the screwdriver can bite in better. And I will use a different screwdriver with more pressure to try and get it out. So I think this is a disaster averted. So next thing what I'll do is replace these rusty guides. And this bike is proving to be relatively cheap fix at the moment. Most of the parts I have already second-hand mostly, actually all of them. But hey, they do the job. So we'll pick out a couple of, the ones that look like they might work and replace these ones. One last thing I decided to do before I started assembling the bike was to give the front bearings a bit of a grease. They didn't feel too bad, but I thought, well, if the rear ones needed some work, these ones do feel okay. They spin nicely, but I thought I'll just put some extra grease in there. So I didn't pull them apart. I just opened them enough so I can, squeeze in some grease in there, and yeah, that'll be fine for plenty more years to come. I originally planned to swap the tires from the flip bike onto this one, but I thought, let me check the marketplace and see if there's anything for sale. And yeah, I managed to score these ones, very new Bontrager's, for $20. So score, we'll put these ones on this bike now. Yeah, this bike ended up being a lot more work than I expected, but it is for my uncle and no regrets at all. It is a really good bike. It was well used and I'm so glad to see it being like that. So I hope it will last him for many more years to come. And I did say to him, if he ever needs any more tune-ups or repairs or just general fixes, he's welcome to drop it off anytime. The second bike is the flip bike. I'm not gonna lie, this one almost seems better condition than my uncle's one. It has been garaged and it's been just sitting more, it seems. It's a lot cleaner and it seems like it had less use, so there are a couple of rusty spots on it, more so than the other bike. So it does have issues. The shifters don't work. But yeah, let me show you around and then we'll jump onto this one. Actually, never mind showing around. Let's jump straight into it. My first point was to sort out these shifters. They clearly don't work. So as you can see, I've learned from my lesson and WD-40 is going on straight away. And I will be using a proper screwdriver. Did I just admit I used the wrong screwdriver? Anyways, so what we'll do, we'll take the covers off, just to better access, and you can spray WD-40 more on the points that need to be fixed. But if you ever have these kind of shifters and they don't work, you can just kind of put a nozzle in there and just start spraying inside of it, and then just keep playing with the shifters, switching them on and off, like going up and down the gears. Quite often, that's enough to make them start working again. So you don't have to necessarily take the covers off, but I will, and just to see what's going on the inside in case there is something broken or there's bits missing. Well, it seems like there is no issues at all. A little bit of WD-40 and it works fine. Well, things are going surprisingly smooth so far. I will take the wheels off the bike, give them a good clean, check the bearings, or rather just feel them and see how they feel. But this bike has been really pleasant surprise from mechanical side, but probably boring viewing from the video side of it. There's genuinely nothing wrong with it. So yeah, we'll give it a good clean. Frame does need a little bit of a polish, so I will do the same what I've done on my uncle's bike, give it a wash, and then use that the paint restorer paint polish thing, whatever it says on there, to really just kind of buff it up and shine it up. Overall, paint is in a good nick on this one. I think it probably just needs a bit of a wash, but those couple of scuffs will clean up a lot nicer with a polish. So yeah, enjoy the music. I didn't have any spare guides in there that were the right length, and to be honest, I couldn't be bothered changing them. So I decided I'll give this the existing one a bit of a sand down, and yeah, that didn't really work. So yeah, it cleaned off a bit of a rust, but a bit of a WD-40, and looks a bit better than it was before. But yep. So, bike's done. They look amazing. But was it worth it? I think it was. I fixed two bikes. My uncle's bike will continue to be used for many years to come, and the flip bike will find its use with the new owners. So in my books, that's a win right there. I think it was. I fixed up two bikes. It didn't go quite to plan, but it didn't end up being a huge drama. So it was all right. All up, I think I spent about 3.5 hours on both bikes, 2.5 hours roughly on my uncle's bike, and flip bike was really about an hour. I can sell the flip bike for about 150. That's okay. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think it's still worth it because even though you may have spent extra hours on it, you've got a bike for free. If you think of it this way and you've spent some money on that bike, well, that's effectively like extra hour or two of your time. So, you know what? Swings and roundabouts. I think it's probably worth it. And it's another avenue to get a bikes to fix and flip. But equally, you can just buy them for cheap. Bearing in mind that by buying them for cheap, you're effectively trading your time. So, yeah, well, I think it works. I probably will do this again. If other people reach out to me and ask for bikes to be serviced, sure, why not? But yeah, I think it was a good exercise. It did get me thinking though. I would like a nice fancy bike, like retro stuff. Something with XTR, drivetrain, plugged frame maybe. Like, you know, the dream bike. I wonder if I can work my way up to something like that. I think I might do this. Except I'm gonna start with zero. Well, sort of zero. Let me show you what I have in mind. I'm thinking this flip bike was too easy. So I will set myself a new challenge. I will turn these recycle cans into my dream bike.